Good evening, and welcome to TCJZ's wrap-up of the 90s with myself, Tanner, and my co-anchor, Cameron. There are many topics we wish to talk about with you tonight.
Now we are going to talk about the news with the first Oklahoma City bombing. The Oklahoma City bombing was on April 19, 1995. It was a domestic terrorist attack on the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building in downtown Oklahoma City.
The bombing killed 168 people and injured more than 680 more. The blast destroyed 324 buildings in a 16-block radius, destroyed or burned more than 88 cars, and shattered glass in nearly 258 buildings. The blast caused an estimated $652 million in damage.
The people responsible for the act were arrested less than a day later. On April 19, 2000, the Oklahoma City National Memorial was dedicated next to the building.
Our next topic tonight is Hurricane Bertha. On August 2nd, Hurricane Bertha made landfall near P. Sherman 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney in Nova Scotia. Waves caused by the hurricane tormented the United States East Coast.
In Florida, the rough seas caused 2 fatalities by drowning and 200 lifeguard rescues. 7 other drownings occurred when the SS Corazon sank near Cape Cod.
The hurricanes caused a suspension bridge to fall in Nova Scotia and minor flooding in the region. Overall, Hurricane Bertha caused 9 fatalities and about $3.91 million in damage.
Our next topic for news will be the Dolly the sheep. Dolly the sheep was born on July 5th, 1996. She was the first mammal to be cloned using the process of nuclear transfer. She was cloned and lived in Edinburgh, Scotland in the United Kingdom.
Dolly lived to be 6.5 before severe arthritis and progressive lung disease caused her to be euthanized. After successfully showing cloning with Dolly, many other mammals were cloned, including pigs, deer, horses, and bulls.
The cloning opened doors for saving endangered species and even possibly reviving extinct species from frozen tissue. Now the final news topic we will discuss is Rodney King. On March 3, 1991, African-American construction worker Rodney King was beaten violently after a high-speed car chase.
George Holliday filmed the incident from his balcony and caught on tape 5 officers surrounding King and beating him repeatedly. The footage was aired around the world and caused cities to be infuriated, along with the already high racial tension inside the cities.
4 officers were charged with assault with a deadly weapon and use of this deadly force. All 4 of the officers were eventually acquitted of all charges. This sparked the 1992 Los Angeles riots, in which 58 people were killed. Over 2,000 were injured.
Now we are going over to our sports with Zach Leffler, but first we have some breaking news. According to my manager, there is a one-man riot going on outside the studio. The man seems to be rioting against the recent change in law of group member number requirements.
Let me in, let me in, let me in, let me in, let me in.
Now let's go to our sports with Zach Leffler.
Hello, my name is Zach Leffler and here is your sports. In 1995 and 96, baseball fans went on a strike against baseball players and its owners. They were fed up with how much money the players and owners were gaining. Attendance at baseball games during the strike dropped to 20%. Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire chased the baseball record of home runs at 61, set in 1961. In 1998, Mark McGwire set the home run record at an impressive 70 home runs. In basketball, Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls won 6 titles in the 90s, in 91, 92, 93, 96, 97, and 98. In 1992, the Olympic basketball team, nicknamed the Dream Team, were composed of the greatest players all on one team. They destroyed all competition and won the gold medal. After many strikes in the last few decades, owners turned on the players with the Lockout the Players strike of 1998. The top 5 teams of the decades consisted of the following teams. Number 5, the Duke Blue Devils men's basketball team won 2 national championships and only missed Final Four once in their years as a team. The number 4 was Tennessee Volunteers women's basketball team. They won 4 national titles and they were easily the greatest women's basketball program ever. Number 3 is Nebraska Cornhuskers football. They won 3 national titles. Number 2 is Florida State Seminoles football. 2 national titles, ranked top 5 every year of the decade, won 10 games every year, and they were very consistent. The number 1 team of the decade was the Chicago Bulls basketball team. They won 6 NBA championships, only missed playoffs once in the decade, and they never lost a single time when they played in the NBA Finals. The top 5 athletes of the decade consisted of the following: The number 5 popular athlete was Evander Holyfield. He was a 3-time heavyweight champion boxer. Number 4, which was John Elway. He was a 6-time Pro Bowler and a 2-time Super Bowl champion. Number 3 was Deion Sanders. He's an 8-time Pro Bowler and a 2-time Super Bowl champion. Number 2 was Ken Griffey Jr. He was a 10-time All-Star, a 10-time Gold Glove winner in baseball. Number 1 was Michael Jordan. He won 6 times NBA champion. He's a 6-time Finals MVP. He's a 4-time MVP. He's a 7-time All-Star. He's a 2-time All-Star Game MVP. He's a 7-time scoring champion. He's a 7-time All-NBA First Team. A 7-time All-Defensive First Team. That is all for your sports news. I will send you over to our music executive, Justice Walls. Justice?
Hi, I'm Justice. There are a few music genres that emerged during the 1990s, one of them being gangster rap. Dr. Dre's album, The Chronic, set a tone of a new type of music called gangster rap. This commercially dominated the hip-hop scene, becoming the top-selling music genre in the mid-1990s. The second one being country music. This became a worldwide phenomenon in the 90s. Sales and concert attendance were breaking records for country music. The Dixie Chicks became one of the most popular country groups during the 90s and early 2000s. Their 1998 album debut, Wide Open Spaces, went to become 12-time platinum. For punk rock, in California in 1994, there was a breakout of new music. Many bands found success like Green Day, The Offspring, Blink-182, and Bad Religion. The 90s was the most important decade for punk/reggae rock, with the success of many bands. There are also many famous artists and songs that came out in the 90s. Some of the most popular are the following. The top 5 artists are Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Radiohead, Tupac, and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. For top 5 songs, there is Baby One More Time by Britney Spears, Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana, Missing You by Everything But the Girl, Walkin' on Sunshine by Smash Mouth, and Ray of Light by Madonna. That's all for the 90s music, and now I'll send you back to Tanner and Kevin for entertainment of the 90s.
The next topic to discuss about in the 90s are the films. The 3 most popular ones were the Titanic, Men in Black, and Star Wars The Phantom Menace. Titanic, directed by James Cameron, my bro, released November 1st, 1997. This epic romantic disaster film was inspired by the director's fascination for shipwrecks.
There was also Men in Black. The American science fiction action spy film from 1997 was directed by Barry Sonnenfeld. Deriving from the original comic book, the movie underwent some last-minute changes during production. And finally, there was Star Wars Episode I, The Phantom Menace. About the epic space opera, was written and directed by George Lucas. Being the first of a 3-film prequel, this film contained many references and allusions to historical events and concepts. Some of meditation and other impossible concepts were used in this film.
To go along with these famous movies, there were also a couple famous actors from the 90s worth mentioning. Some popular actors included Liam Neeson, Natalie Portman, Leonardo DiCaprio, who still hasn't won an Oscar, Kathy Bates, Will Smith, Rip Tom, Tommy Lee Jones. One of the most famous TV shows included Dragon Ball Z. This was an anime television series produced by Toei Animation. This show was simply yes.
One of the activities done for fun in the 90s that became very popular was video gaming. The most popular game to play was Super Mario World. This game was developed by Nintendo and absolutely was the best. This game became very popular and played heavily throughout many people. To end the entertainment in the 90s, we here in the studio have got our hands on the trailer for Titanic to show the viewers at home.
In this blockbuster movie, love can overpower anything except an iceberg.
They be like very French girls.
Jack, don't let me go. I won't, Rose.
Thank you for tuning in to TCJZ's televised wrap-up of the 90s decade. We hope you have a great day.
Sherman 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney, in Nova Scotia. Waves caught.
I am so sorry.
What?
Alright.
Just restart the sentence. Come on.
Alright. Okay.
Stop laughing.
I understand.
Filmed the incident from his balcony and caught on tape 5 officers surrounding King and beating him repeatedly. The footage was aired around the country.
We were done. No.
Alright.
Enemy.
This was an anime.
Anime.
Is an enemy.
Anime. It says May.
Say Dragon Ball Z
It's
was
French. Okay, so it's French.
Japanese.
This was an enemy.
Oh my god.
Alright.
Anime.
Spy cam.
Hey, yo.
Oh horror.
That's gonna suck. Thanks, Miss Briner. Thank you.
or better yet, don't come back at all.
You have the page.
Let me read over it real quick. But
Bye.
first, there are a few music genres that emerged during the 90s. First one.